Well, I interviewed Charles Peewee Goldsmith.
Sure, Peewee.
Yeah, former president
Of Las Vegas.
of Las Vegas
Right.
Hells Angels. And he said some interesting stories. He said there was a story where someone walked up to Sonny Barger and they gave him a photo of the two of you together.
Right.
Sonny took the photo and ripped it in half.
A guy walked into the shop, Sonny's sitting there
Yeah.
next to me. And he says, "Oh my God, I was always wondering when you were going to be here. I took this picture like in the 80s, it was like 1987. And it was Sonny and George, and they had their arm around each other like this, and they were standing below that Sturgis sign that's up on the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like an 8x10. And the guy goes, "Here, man, I've been holding on to this for you. I want you to have it." And he handed it to him. And Sonny grabbed it, and he looked at it, and he went, whoosh, he ripped it in half, and he tore up the section with George and threw it in the garbage. He goes, "Thanks," and walked away.
Not surprised.
You know about the story?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real story?
Real story.
Okay.
As far as I know, I mean, Peewee told me, I mean, look, I know how Sonny felt about me. You know, sometimes he loved me, sometimes he hated me. And, you know, I got a new book coming out, Crossing the Rubicon. And the whole book was prompted because I got a phone call from a member. Now, the members aren't allowed to talk to me. And I'm blackballed, if you will. I'm out bad. You get caught interacting with me, you're subject to expulsion from the club. I got a phone call and said, if you're going to resolve this thing with Sonny, you need to do it tonight because he's not going to be around much longer. He died in the morning. Well, that night, I got up and I started thinking about Sonny. I thought about, you know, should I try to reconcile with the guy? And I'm not going to get into it because the whole book kind of is a chronological journey. It's not about my personal life. It's all about the Hells Angels and interacting as a leader in the Hells Angels and what transpired in the Hells Angels. And I don't compromise anybody. No one's going to jail behind this book. Everybody's dead, Vlad.
Right. Well, you ended up not talking to Sonny.
No, I did not.
And he
talk to
died
Sonny.
the next
He
day?
died the next day.
Do you regret that at all?
I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah.
You know, I really do. I mean, you know, could I have resolved it with Ralph? I don't know. My last conversation with Ralph, I'll break it down for you. I can't think of his name. He's an author. He wrote Angels of Death. He's from Canada. He's a Canadian author. And Sonny and I both got permission from the club for him to interview us. And he interviewed us for this book, Angels of Death. And
William Marston?
no, the other guy.
Julian Scher?
Julian Shear.
Okay.
Yeah, Julian came to my house and he came to Sonny's house.
Okay.
And when the book came out, Sonny took exception to something that was written in the book. And it was just like one sentence. George Christie, the longest serving president in the Hells Angels history. And he did not like that. And he called me on the phone and he said, "You know what, man? You want me to imitate him? You know what, man? You've been president too long." And I just said, "Well, what's that got to do with you?" And he said, "You know, I think you've been president too long and you need to step down."
Well, wasn't he the longest running president, though?
He wasn't a president. He had actually, people don't realize this, Sonny had not held an office since 1982 when he got cancer. Did he hold a de facto position as a leader? Absolutely. For years and years, he was the voice and the face of the Hells Angels. He took the power from Southern California and brought it to Oakland and made the Hells Angels almost like his own brand, if you will.
Yeah.
And my thought was, one man didn't build this club. It was built by many men. And I wasn't afraid to let Sonny know how I felt about that. And I always told him with the due respect. But on that phone conversation, he said, "I'm going to tell you something else." He goes, "I think you're a liar and I think you're a cheat." Now, I don't know where he came up with that. But I said, "Well, you know what I think, Sonny? I think what you think doesn't matter anymore." And he slammed the phone down. And like a couple of kids, I hit redial and I called him back and I said, Ralph, I think we got cut off. And he goes, no, I hung, and I slammed the phone down on him. And that was my last conversation with Sonny. Now, people came to me as emissaries. Hey, I got a message from, I mean, it was ridiculous. I got a message from Sonny. Hoover called me. He was kind of, Hoover's president of Cave Creek. He was kind of Sonny's prodigy, understudy, if you will. He was murdered. Still remains unsolved. He used to call me, and as a smartass, when I got done talking to Hoover, I say, "Is there anything else Ralph wants?" That's what we called Sonny. We called him Ralph, and I would always laugh, and Hoover would laugh, and I mean, it was kind of an open joke. I mean, from probably 2003 or 4, whenever that book came out, within months, we just continued communicating.
Well, according to Peewee, the beef between you and Sonny Barger was because you had dated Sonny's wife before he married her?
I never dated Sonny's wife.
Okay.
Sonny's wife worked for me.
Okay. You know the story, though.
I do know the story.
Okay.
Sonny's wife worked for me at the Ink House for many years. We got busted in 2001, and when the police reports came back, there was something in the police report that alarmed me. I had given Sonny's wife, Zee Serrano, Kazakian was her name at the time. I had given her a telephone. You know what a chip phone is? I gave her a chip phone, and I said, do not receive any calls on this. Only call out if you get in a jam, you know. And when the police report came out, they had raided the Ink House, my tattoo shop, and they had the conversation. They asked Zee where she got the phone from. Where did you get this chip phone? And she was, George Christie gave me that chip phone. And I took that paperwork to Sonny, and, you know, Sonny didn't want to believe it. He said, I don't care what that cop said. She's no informant. I said, well, Sonny, nobody knew about that phone but Serrano and myself. Where in the hell did the cop come up with this idea to write it in the police report? I 86'd her. Well, I let her go, 86'd her from the club. She went to Sonny to complain, and he fell in love with her and married her.
Well, Peewee told a story about a situation between Sonny and, I believe, that same wife that you're talking about.
No, that's Noelle you're going to talk about.
Okay. There's a different wife?
That's a different wife.
Okay. So there's a story between Sonny Barger and his wife at the time. I guess they got into some sort of domestic dispute.
They did. And you want to know what it was about?
You?
No. No. For the one time, I'm completely telling you I'm innocent.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Noelle and Sonny were having problems. Their marriage was unraveling. Sonny had a woman on the back of his bike. Noelle started chasing him and trying to run him off the road.
Okay.
And he rode back to the ranch. I don't know if he got rid of the girl or what the deal was. He came back to the ranch. Him and Noelle got in a physical confrontation. He threw her on the ground, and she said she couldn't move. She broke her back, or she hurt her back. Sonny called 911, which I know there's a lot of controversy about this. I'm a fan, Vlad. I watch your show. I saw what Peewee said. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But let me tell you what happened. Sonny got on the phone. He should have said, my wife needs an ambulance, and hung up. He stayed on the phone. The call was 20 minutes. I have the recording of the call. I have the complete recording. And that's a story in itself, how I wound up with that, why I wound up with that, and what he did when he found out I had that. That's a story I haven't told. But he stayed on the phone. The police get on the phone. The medical call has now ended. It's now a police call. Are either of you high? Well, I'm not. Okay, that's strike number one, but it's gray, you know. Do either one of you have a weapon? Well, She has one in the car, but I don't have one. Okay, that's bad. You can't do that as a Hell's Angel. You know, you made a comment earlier about keeping your mouth shut. You don't say things. What was this whole thing about? Well, I don't know. She tried to run me off the road. That's a serious thing. And if you look on my social media on Facebook, I put the 911 call up a couple of weeks ago because my book's getting ready to come out, Rubicon. And I know there's going to be controversy. There's people that say he never made the call and you're making this up. And I wanted to remind the public out there that it did happen.
Hi, my name is Ralph Parker. And what's going on there? My wife is paralyzed and can't help me around. Because she's paralyzed and can't move? Yes, she needs an ambulance. Okay, you said she was in an altercation and now you say she's paralyzed? Yes. Okay, sir, do you guys have any weapons there? Yes, just put in the car. Are you guys in the car right now? No, we're outside the car. Okay, we're outside the car, but there's a pistol inside the car? I believe so.
So what transpired from all that? Sonny got arrested, charged with a felon in possession of a gun. I have the court, I should have brought him today. I have the transcripts of the court proceeding. They play the 911 tape. It's part of the court transcripts. And something gets revealed in the middle of the court proceeding.
What's that?
Noelle Barger works for the FBI and receives $1,000 a week.
She was an informant.
She was an informant.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was married to an informant.
He was married to an informant. And my position is his fourth wife and final wife before he died, was she a full-on informant? Well, I don't know. I know she talked to the cops because they knew about that phone. They knew that I had given her a chip phone. Is that a serious offense? No, but it could lead up to something bigger. Cooperate once, you're going to cooperate again, perhaps.
Okay, so was Sonny pushed out of the Hells Angels after that, or?
No.
No.
They turned their a blind eye. That was kind of the beginning of the end for me. When I saw that I had known members that got kicked out for calling 911. We had a member in the 80s that somebody stole his car, and he reported it, and the guys got caught, and they got sentenced and convicted for grand theft auto. The guy got kicked out of the club just trying to recover his car.
Right, but what do you do, though? If you have insurance, you have to have a police report.
Yeah, if you get in an accident.
What's the point of even having insurance at that point? If you're a Hell's Angel, you might as well not even have it.
It was very controversial posture. My son, when my wife, ex-wife Cheryl died, her brainstem pushed into her spine, causing a massive stroke, and she died. My son found her the morning. She didn't answer. He went over to the house. He called 911. There were people saying, well, he should get kicked out of the club.
Your son was a Hell's Angel at the time?
He was, yeah. He should get kicked out of the club, and I argue that's ridiculous. He called for an ambulance. And then, of course, Sonny said, well, you did that to me. I said, yeah, there are different circumstances. And that's when Sonny started saying that I lied about the transcripts. There was somebody, I was a West Coast chairman for years. Before I was the West Coast chairman, Sonny Barger held that position. He was the West Coast chairman. And that puts you in a powerful de facto position because you give everybody the, I don't want to say illusion, but you give everybody the perception you're in charge. You're controlling the West Coast meetings. Somebody took my place, Papa, and when Sonny started saying that I made up the transcripts, Papa said to me, can you get the 911 tape? And I used my daughter's law office to obtain the 911 tape. I got the tape, I turned it over to Papa, and Papa confronted Sonny. Of course, he said he didn't do anything wrong. And basically the club turned a blind eye because it was Sonny Barger that broke the rule. Fair? Perhaps, maybe.
No, look, I interviewed a regular on my show, Tony Yayo, a street guy who's down 50 Cent. And he was talking about a situation where his dad was having like a heart attack and he just paused because he didn't want to call 911. but there were other family members in the house that grabbed the phone and was
did.
like, but he had this thing where he just would not call 911. And even in a bad situation where his dad is dying, he kind of stopped for a second.
You know, as us coming up in the hood, we was allergic to them 3 numbers.
Yeah.
My father lives with me. You know, he had heart attacks, and I really didn't want to even dial 911. It's done, you know, somebody in the house did it, but I'm just...
I think eventually he would have done it, but still, there's this aversion to calling 911.
Well, you know, I've been out of the club since 2011, and I have not called 911 for anything. I don't think it's something in my... This wasn't the way I was raised, you know. I came from a Greek immigrant family. They used to resolve everything within that Greek community at the HEPA meeting, which was the meeting for the men, and the Daughters of Penelope was the meeting for the women. And somewhat like a church thing. If you had a problem, like a lot of churches, they deal with it in the house, whatever it may be. Is that right? Perhaps not by the standards of law, but morally, maybe the law of religion holds a higher setting than a judicial law. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you could get in an argument about this stuff and argue it forever, you know?